visionary, revolutionary. I'm a visionary, revolutionary.
Thank you everyone for tuning in to another episode of the DMB podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Camilio Salamander and I'm here with KBTHEMARK.
Cause I'm a fucking mark for this shit.
And today we are bringing you guys week 11. Yes, week 11. It's been 11 weeks since this year has started off. So without further ado, let's jump into the review.
Man, oh man. You said this was week 11?
Week 11.
Week 11. What episode is this?
This is episode 49.
Episode 49. So, should we just give it to him, or should we just drop it when we drop it?
We could drop some hints.
Well, like Salamander said, it's episode 49, so obviously the next one is number 50. So just be looking out for number 50. It's going to be a quarterly review for our 50th episode. Me and Salamander sat down and we had a lot of ideas, but we wanted to keep it within the parameters of how we treat the podcast, which now is the weekly reviews. You might get a special podcast here and there, but most times we're talking about the week of wrestling. So we're going to discuss the first 10 weeks of wrestling on the 50th episode, and that's going to be our quarterly review.
And I am currently trying to line up a special interview. The first ever interview for the channel, guys. David Boston, the new guy who looked like Randy Orton. I reached out to him because on his page, he just yesterday when I reached out to him, he was like at 300 followers on Instagram. Now he's at 1,000. So he's progressing very fast, at least on Instagram. So I reached out to him. I reached out to some of the newly NXT Performance Center signings for an interview. See if we can land something. I reached out to Maddie. I think her name on WWE is going to be Nikita Knight. She's 18 and she currently is with NXT. Why not have a young, up-and-coming wrestler tell us about their ropes and what got them to be in WWE? What got them this far? What routes did you have to take? So that's on the horizon right now. Hopefully we can land one. So you guys might have something very, very fortunate to look forward to.
There you go. Salamander trying to, once again, working behind the scenes, trying to secure things. I'm working behind the scenes as well. So hopefully you guys will have something to look forward to within the next coming months. You know what I'm not looking forward to, Salamander?
Monday Night Raw.
Right, but most of WrestleMania.
Oh, that's surprising.
I would tell you that I'm only interested in probably about 20 to 25% of what's going on.
Okay. Why is that?
Rematches, seen it before. Storyline's not that captivating. It's just the good ones are really good. The really good ones really have you invested. And then everything else doesn't add up. But then again, you can't. I feel like they should give it to me in one day, but do I really want to sit in front of the TV for 8 hours? I don't miss those WrestleManias where the pre-show started at 5, and then the actual show didn't get started till 8, and then it ran from like 8 to 12:30.
I liked it.
I can't sit in front of the TV and watch a premium live event for 8 hours. I just can't do it.
I like it. Not if every pay-per-view every premium live event is like that, then yes, I can see it. But if they big four, it's gonna be the only pay-per-view premium live events that's gonna be that long, I don't mind.
So I guess for WrestleMania I've done it, but that's a hard thing to do. It's hard for me to sit down and watch AEW for 5 hours.
I think it's acceptable depending on the occasion. Like, depending on what pay-per-view, premium live event it is, it would really fit. Like, a double or nothing. Like, if all of their pay-per-views is 5 hours or more, I wouldn't mind it because they give us TV specials and they give us on what's on TV. So they big, live event. I don't mind it going long because it's supposed to make you feel special. You spending $59.99 on the AEW pay-per-view, I want my money's worth. I don't want a standard show that we kind of get throughout the week. So I don't mind that, that 5+ hour event. As long as it's entertaining within the whole 5 hours, though.
Well, are you telling me so how interested are you in WrestleMania? And then we can jump into the Monday Night Raw review. Just give me a percentage of how much you are and how much you aren't.
I'm 75% interested. The other 25 I'm not. Mainly because I'm really interested in the Bianca Belair match. We got some news about Bianca Belair that we're going to jump into later on too. I'm interested in, of course, the title for title unification match. I'm interested in the Edge and AJ Styles, and I want to see what's going to happen with Kevin Owens and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Those is the main triggers that got me tuning in. Charlotte and Ronda, that's cool, but we've seen it before. They're kind of revisiting this again. It's kind of like the same feud that we had in 2019, so I'm iffy with that. Johnny Knoxville, I don't want to see his ass at all. That's pretty much it. I mean, yeah. I mean, my guy not gonna be here, so what do I have looking forward to?
To me, bro, that sounds like it's 50-50.
It's 50-50, but I will say 75-25, mainly because it's WrestleMania. WrestleMania time is always hype.
Okay. I'm gonna leave it there. Jumping into Monday Night Raw, we opened with Kevin Owens. It like Salamanders reported on Scott Hall passed this past week. This was the Monday Night Raw following his passing. Kevin Owens came out. Kind of the tribute show. Kevin Owens comes out, starts off with the "Hey, yo." Then he just talks about Stone Cold Steve Austin and the meeting and him drinking Canadian beer. He then hit a stunner on the cameraman. Cameraman took the stunner like a champ. I like the segment. I don't mind Kevin Owens talking for 15 minutes.
The cameraman might be a performance center representative. He took the move that good.
He did take the move good. I'm like, it might be somebody new.
Yeah.
He took it like a champ. Next up, we had Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. Austin Theory was outside on commentary. Match didn't go that long. Damian Priest got the win after Finn Balor got distracted by the heel and gave him a shotgun drop kick, which then led to Damian Priest hitting the Reckoning, which really concerns me because do you have the guy who shall not be named in AEW on him signing? You got that in the news?
No, but we can actually talk about it too. I do want to say this. I'm confused about this, right?
Right.
Damian Priest's finisher is called the Reckoning, right?
Yes, it is.
Wasn't that Mia Yim name? Was she was part of Retribution?
I think so.
And that's kind of confusing. How your finisher name is just somebody else's character name.
Bro, you know what I'm concerned about is that the guy who shall not be named on AEW, he signed. He's going to be on Raw. How long before WWE thinks like, he's got the Crossroads and he's got the Reckoning. Let's put the United States Championship on Damian Priest. He's going to feud against Cody Rhodes in about, let's say, 7 months. And the match is going to be the first person to hit their finisher will be the person who can use the move from now on. The other person has to change their finisher.
That sounds like some WWE shit too, though.
Don't it?
Yeah. I don't think I like that.
And of course, it'll lead to Damian Priest winning. And Cody will no longer be able to use the Crossroads. It'll be the first big fuck you from Vince McMahon.
You think? So basically, all right, let's go ahead and get out the way now. It's basically reported that Cody Rhodes has dotted the lines with WWE.
The guy who shall not be named on AEW.
I believe he did it 14 days ago, they said. So now that he dotted the lines with WWE and he is coming, do you think that's what you think is going to be, just like a slap in the face shit? Like they're going to use him wherever way they want to?
I think that will be the first. I think that would be the first smack to the face.
Okay.
I think it'll end. His time will end at Stardust.
So it's kind of reported. All right, so this is what I'm thinking. We got 2 weeks before Mania, right?
Right.
It came out, but not came out really that he's been signed. WWE haven't acknowledged that he's been signed yet. So, but what happened at the main event on Raw with Kevin Owens basically beating Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins still don't have a match at WrestleMania. Perhaps Cody Rhodes show up next week at Raw to finally give Seth Rollins that match that he's been looking for, because we already know basically Seth Rollins' story so far has been him trying to make it onto the WrestleMania match card. So what if that's the way they do it? They debut a returning Cody Rhodes this Monday to set up. Or they might save it for another week and have Seth Rollins try to do something else to get back onto to get on the Mania match card. He fails the Go Home show, since that's reported to be a very high show with members from SmackDown supposed to be on Raw and members from Raw supposed to be on SmackDown. What if the Go Home show is the match that they set up? Because it's still being reported every day that the match card is getting added on to, taken away, or they're changing up match types, match stipulations, all that stuff. What do you think about that?
I think you're putting way too much thought into it. You've noticed they really haven't announced much for the second night. They've only really been announcing stuff for the first night. They
probably putting this one on for night 2, because like I said, night 1's gonna sell itself. No matter what match you have on it, just for the hype of it being WrestleMania. WrestleMania it's gonna sell itself. But it's the night 2 that you need to be worried about, because like I even back on this before last year, even the year before, night 1 always lived up. Night 2 had some matches, but you don't remember the whole card like that. You remember night 1 whole card and the hype for night 1. Remember how night 1 happened last year? We were so hyped. After every match went off, we called each other. We was like, yeah. We were just talking. Night 2 happened. We was like, I fell asleep in the middle of night 2. I woke up just in time to see Roman match.
That's because you are an AEW mark. Listen, like I said, you're putting way too much thought into this. I'm gonna tell you exactly what's gonna happen. They'll keep teasing Seth Rollins not having a way to WrestleMania. You know what he's gonna do? He's gonna pull a Daniel Bryan. He's gonna hijack WrestleMania night 1 until he gets his moment. He's gonna stand there, and I think just for WrestleMania purposes, they'll keep his AEW theme song. But then when the Raw after Mania, he'll then have his WWE music. But I would think that they would want to keep his music the same, so people be like, "Oh shit, that's Cody fucking Rhodes."
They probably will if AEW don't own it. They probably will just like another smack to the face with AEW. Like, you did it with Jeff Hardy.
Yeah. And I would like
or
that.
They probably do a thing how they did with Daniel Bryan. How like the first couple seconds is his WWE theme, and then they transition to his new theme. It might be that like the first couple seconds of the song might be the AEW shit. So people are like, oh, is he really doing it? And then transition to another song. Or well, with this, I really guarantee since he returned, they're not gonna get him back his WWE theme. It's gonna be a new theme because they did the same thing with Drew McIntyre. When he came back, he did not have his WWE theme, which was fucking Matt Marvelous, that original theme. Bobby Lashley didn't have his theme when he came back. Shelton Benjamin didn't have his theme when he came back. So I'm thinking Cody Rhodes is going to debut a whole new song. Well, they put him back at Stardust. He come back at Stardust. The theme with Stardust.
I don't think you debut Cody Rhodes or Stardust.
Well, I mean, even if he don't debut as Stardust, if he come back as Stardust later on in his run, they're gonna put that music back on him. But I just think overall he's gonna have new music.
Probably. Anything else you want to add?
Nah. I just hate when certain superstars come back. We don't get the original theme back. Like, just imagine when Shelton Benjamin came back. We heard that "Ain't No Stopping Me Now." That, bro, that's way better than the theme he has now. I would love that. Mark Henry ever come back? He's not coming back to 3-6 Mafia. We already know he gonna come back as some bullshit. That's the best thing. It's just if a theme works, keep that shit, man.
We had a Seth Rollins backstage interview next. Kevin Patrick was asking Seth Rollins how was he going to basically get to WrestleMania. Seth Rollins just stared off into the distance. Next up, we got Omos versus Commander Aziz.
He stared off into the distance. You know who he was looking at?
Becky Lynch.
He was looking at John Cena. Now, all jokes aside, what if Cody Rhodes was actually backstage and he was looking at him, but they just ain't show it on camera? Try to setting up that WrestleMania shit. Probably asking him like, "You gonna give it to me?" Pause. But you gonna give me what I've been asking for? I think it's gonna be something like how Batista was. How Batista was looking for that Mania match, and he wanted it with Triple H, and Triple H wouldn't give him the match, so he kept doing what he had to do to trigger Triple H to get him to say yes. I think it's gonna be something like that. Like he gonna keep they keep asking him this question. What are you gonna do to get on Mania? What are you gonna do? There's gonna be a thing where he gonna end up doing some shit. It's like cause he already came out doing like the Cody Rhodes shit there with the ear thing, doing all that. So they doing little teases. I think it'll be something like he gonna say fuck it, cut a promo, and within the promo he might not even say his name, but within the promo you can read between the lines. He gonna be talking about Cody, and then boom, he gonna be saying some shit like why I was in here. He gonna mention the Shield doing what they was doing, becoming the champion, being Triple H protege and shit like that. You was a reference Stardust. You was doing this, da da da. When I became a big star, you ran a Ray, da da da, or whatever, some shit like that. Like you been ducking me, some shit. They could do something. It's gonna be something similar, something like that to get us hoping. So I will say this, so I was 75%, 75-25. Depending on how they do these last 2 weeks, if they go ahead and announce this match like either the go home show or next week or tomorrow, that 75% just went up to 85 if they do it.
So we had Omos versus Commander Aziz. Omos got the win. This match, it was every big guy match in WWE, kind of slow. very slow. He hit a deadlift suplex, a deadlift vertical suplex. He picked up Commander Aziz from deadlift. And I just said, put this man in an Andre Memorial Battle Royal and let him destroy everybody.
Yeah.
You want to make you want to make Omos a star? That's how you do it.
The king of battle royals is Andre. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, shit. Yeah, like you said, put him in there, let him destroy everybody. If you don't eliminate everybody, you should eliminate most of the people, so they acknowledge that's the right way. Like the first month after Mania, they say, yeah, this guy at WrestleMania in the Andre Memorial Battle Royal, he eliminated. What's the most elimination in Royal Rumble? 17, right? Or 15, or 13, so 14, 15. It's either 14, 15. I think Roman broke Kane record. I think it's 14 or 15 right now. But let's say it's 15. I think he's gonna eliminate more. If he's in there, he's gonna eliminate more people than the record is at the Royal Rumble. That's how they're gonna build him up as being this big monster. Then after WrestleMania, they're probably gonna try to give him a little mini push, because they basically got their storylines already now. Storyline set of what Mania gonna be. After Mania, expect Omos to get a push.
Nah, I definitely agree. Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins backstage segment next. Kevin Owens was hyping up Seth Rollins, saying, "You're a visionary. You got to find your way onto WrestleMania somehow." Seth Rollins then said he had an idea, and he left and went to the ring. You know what I hate? I hate when they go to the ring, but that's not the next segment.
Yeah, man. You know, we gonna fast forward a little bit. Something like this, it should have happened how it happened on Friday Night SmackDown, with the segment between, you know, that the opening segment, and then we seen Brock walking from the back, and then he made his way to the ring. It was the same segment. They didn't cut away to nothing else. That's how this should have been.
Yes.
Maybe they learned from Monday. That's why they did it like that for Friday. Maybe they was like, yeah, that was a bad call. Let's do it like this then.
Yeah, because then it transitioned into Liv Morgan versus Queen Zelina. Liv Morgan got the win. Carmella and Corey are flirting. Queen Zelina is done with Carmella's bullshit.
They dropping the
titles. This is going to lead, of course.
They dropping the titles out. Yeah, they dropping the titles out. Yeah, they just basically confirmed they are not going to be champions no more, because they can't even get that chemistry right. One person is like Queen Zelina. She's focused on their match at Mania. Carmella, she's totally her mindset is somewhere else. So with them two not being on the same page, that's gonna be the telling story, the telling factor at Mania. And now that they made, fast forward, it's kind of spoiled to what we're gonna talk about on SmackDown. Now that this triple threat tag team match is now Fatal 4-Way, they dropping the titles. Like, they might not take the pinfall, but they dropping the titles. They probably gonna try to keep them as a team, kind of still tell the story, but then it's gonna lead into Queen Zelina and Carmella, you know, going at it. That's the end all be all with this story. They're gonna drop the titles. They're still gonna be main a team. Carmella's still gonna be distracted with the bullshit that she got going on with Corey Graves and shit, and then that's gonna lead into the feud between the two. Probably get that match at WrestleMania Backlash. Or WrestleMania Backlash, they probably, whoever win the tag titles, they'll probably challenge to get their rematch, lose, and then leading into the next pay-per-view, premium live event. That's what they'll do. Set up that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they're getting their storylines together. It's a kind of a good thing and a bad thing. Do I want to see it? No, but at least they're getting them together.
I would say it's a bad thing. The only reason why, because I hate this with WWE. But one pay-per-view go off, well, one premium live event is over with, we know what's the next premium live event. So why wrap up your stories, or really putting your stories, dotting your I's and crossing your T's 2 weeks before the premium live event? shouldn't you think you should be doing that shit like with the build up to it? So like within like the first week or two, building up to the Premier Live event that's like 4 or 5 weeks away. Shouldn't you already be dotting your T's, crossing your dotting your I's, crossing your T's that early instead of doing it like the 2 weeks before the Premier Live event? God, I hate when WWE do this shit. It's like if they got, let's say, a Premier Live event coming up on the match card, they got 10 matches. They were already cross the T's and dot the I's on 3 of the matches or the storylines and shit. The rest of them is still iffy in the air. They ain't pulling it until 2 weeks before, or the go home show of it. I hate that shit.
I mean, you can't lock all the matches in at once.
You can lock, I say 60% of them. In the meantime, you wrapping up the rest of the stories that you got, and then leading into dotting the I's and crossing T's for the last 40% of your match card that you're gonna have.
Guys, I want you to listen to what he just said. He basically just said Vinnie Mac's not doing his job and Tony Khan is great.
I mean, just look at it. If the Revolution, well, we knew Revolution was happening. They already dot their I's across their T's a month before the pay-per-view. Pay-per-view was even there. We already had our established storyline, who was gonna face who, all this shit. So now we just finished telling them stories, telling the build up until the match. Versus the last 2 weeks, we still adding shit on. We still, oh shit, we don't know. So we gonna go ahead and take y'all out the match. Nah, then 2 weeks later, fuck it, we gonna put y'all back in the match, and then we gonna add this team into the match too. It just seems like they not really knowing what they're gonna do or whatever. I just hate when they do last minute shit. Like, you can really tell when they say card subject to change, you can really tell that WWE really goes by that motto. You can really tell that an hour or in the middle of the show is being rewritten. You could tell, like certain weeks, you could tell when that's happening, and that's not me exposing them or nothing like that. You could, like, don't play like I'm the viewer. Don't play your viewers dumb. That's all I'm saying. We make y'all money, basically. Don't play us like we dumb.
Salamander, just say you hate WWE.
I don't. I love WWE. I'm just saying, don't play us like. I feel like even if I do, like, I love WWE. I'm a WWE mark. You know that. My heart bleeds WWE. But I can criticize my company, and they should be able to take it. Be like, you know what? Yeah. Just like your best friend. If you have a best friend, you can criticize it, but like, yeah, bro, you fucked up. You still my guy, but you fucked up. And he should be able to take that and be like, yeah, you right, bro. I respect for you to come to me, keeping it 100 with me and all that stuff. Yeah. That's how I feel with this WWE shit. I just feel like certain shit they shouldn't do. Like, y'all basically the grandfather of AEW. Y'all been around for so long. Y'all should be leading by example, not following. For y'all to be saying that y'all not worried about AEW, y'all sure is worried about AEW. Vice versa too, I would say the same shit. For AEW to say they in their own lane, they trying to do this, they trying to do that, they sure is still worried about WWE. Because if they not, let's keep it real, because if they're not, why would Tony Khan said, when he came out and made the announcement that he bought Ring of Honor, this ain't no shame. You ain't even had to bring that up. Comparing you buying Ring of Honor, you comparing that to Shane buying WCW, that's not even on the same level. That's not even the same criteria. I'm just saying, like, for both companies to say they're not worried about each other, they sure is worried about each other. And most aspects you can tell. Certain times on AEW, they look like they own shit. Then there's other times that they throwing hits and shit like why? What's the point? Like, I would say AEW, when they first established, that's when they was throwing all these hits towards WWE. Well, what's the point? Why? Y'all both don't want the competition is good, but the fact that y'all both said y'all don't look at each other as competition. Why worry about what the next company's doing? Why sign all of their linkos? I get it. Yes, WWE let go these people who has marvelous talent. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sign them and use them the way that they should have been used. But when they get to the point where damn near half your roster is been the people who've been released the last year, it's kind of summing up the question of, just saying.
First off, this whole thing started with Triple H saying he'll buy that Piss Sand t-shirt company.
I understand that, yeah. That's what I'm saying for both companies. WWE came out and said they're not worried about them. Competition is great, but they're not worried about them. AEW said we in our own lane, we're gonna do our own shit. Triple H took the first shot. Why? You didn't have to. I get Billy Gunn was there, but that's still. You didn't have to. You see, Billy Gunn was kind of he was stuck in a nutshell because he couldn't. He was just sitting there smiling for it. He couldn't do shit. I ain't about to say I can't really stick up for AEW because I'm on WWE property and shit like that. And they'll do this and they'll do that. You feel me? Then I can't really, he was stuck in the heart in a nutshell. He couldn't do shit. But it was like, what was the point? They just seen the opportunity and they took it. I don't, I just feel like ain't no point, man. Come on, man. They ain't like that WCW when it was time for the wars and shit like that. I mean, just be honest. If y'all really thought that was competition, y'all wouldn't have put NXT against AEW. All I'm saying. So the fact that y'all don't think that competition, why do what y'all do? Y'all are affecting what y'all show on weekly television because y'all trying to keep up with a company that just been established. That's not even 5 years old. They not even pulling in a consistent million views. And y'all letting them dictate what the fuck y'all got going on. That's it. I'm just saying, if they're not competition, leave it as that. Do what the fuck y'all gotta do to make WWE great again.
You done?
Hashtag make WWE great again. Just make it. Hashtag make WWE 2004.
All right. Are you done? Can we move on?
Yeah. 2004 was the best year in WWE. If you've been rocking with us this long, every time I always refer back between the years of 2002 to fucking 2008. That was the best time in WWE.
All right, we had a Seth Rollins KO or Kevin Owens promo segment next, where Seth Rollins was saying, what if he had a talk show and what if he interviews Stone Cold Steve Austin? Kevin Owens said, you can't do that, that's my idea. Sonya Deville then comes out and says, you two can fight in the main event. Winner gets to interview Stone Cold Steve Austin. This whole little subplot, sub-storyline they got with KO Seth Rollins took a turn for the worse. I couldn't stand this idea.
Yeah. Cause man, I'll leave it alone because I'll go on for like another 15 minutes.
Next up, we had a Mysterios versus Miz and Logan Paul. A recap next, then led into a Kevin Owens.
I'm sorry, man. I can't hold it in no longer. If y'all ain't never did that bullshit and just doing the shit that y'all been doing, y'all wouldn't have to fucking come to the point where y'all have to fucking use Logan Paul. Y'all using Logan Paul and Johnny Knoxville to sell WrestleMania. WrestleMania can sell itself if y'all did the correct fucking booking. Book the correct matches. Y'all could have already have what y'all going for already with y'all own superstars. Y'all ain't gotta go out the pocket and spend extra money to try to grab in celebrities to try to sell. If you gonna grab a celebrity, grab a fucking celebrity that we know, man. What the fuck? a Logan Paul, and them fucking Johnny Knoxville. Come on, bro. At least back in the 90s, y'all got Mike Tyson and shit like that. Now, come on, if you gonna grab a celebrity, grab the biggest celebrity or whatever, shit like that. Like what y'all did with Bad Bunny, that was great. Y'all need to do some shit like that. What the fuck is y'all doing? Like, besides being a big YouTuber and boxing Floyd Mayweather, what did Logan Paul do? We don't nobody really know him like that. The older people don't. It's the younger people who all know about, like, you know, the technology, the YouTube and all that shit like that. But no. No. Johnny Knoxville, maybe this was like 2008 when Jackass is at his high. That shit, like, motherfuckers do that shit on YouTube now. So it's like, y'all Jackass people, it don't matter. We see that shit every day on YouTube. So it's like, what's the difference? Like, if you gonna grab some celebrities, grab the top celebrity. Like, the fuck is this? Y'all wouldn't have to resort in this shit if y'all kept it how y'all kept it. If y'all said AEW is no, I feel like them trying to adjust to AEW fucked up their booking for like the next couple years. I feel like we're gonna get this WWE for like the next 2 years until they make a change. These call them the first fuck up was y'all putting NXT up against AEW because y'all putting development talent up against indie stars basically. Even though NXT was all around indie stars, but still at the same time, we all know NXT was y'all development. That was the first fuck up. The second fuck up was turning NXT. Well, no, the second fuck up was letting go of Triple H being head of NXT. The third fuck up was turning NXT to NXT 2.0, the main roster shit. Now at this point, y'all might as well make NXT your third brand and stuff. The fourth fuck up, releasing all these good ass talent that y'all had on y'all roster. Now y'all stuck putting more main event talent tag teaming up with each other, but they have no fucking chemistry at all. Y'all forced to throw teams together for like 2 months and then break them up. Y'all forced to keep having titles play hot potato. And then on top of that, the last fuck up is y'all changing motherfuckers' names. The fuck is a Dewdrop? The fuck is a Butch? Like, come on. Y'all doing all, what the fuck? Like, come on. What was wrong with Piper Niven? Nothing. What was wrong with Pete Dunne? Nothing. What was wrong with Riddick Moss? Nothing. The fuck is a madcap? I'm mad. You know, I turn it down. I'm 50-50 with WrestleMania.
You done?
Yeah.
Told you it was 50-50. Told you. Kevin Owens, Sonya Deville segment backstage next. Kevin Owens says Sonya Deville's idea was a dumb idea. It then led to the Mysterios versus the Hurt Business. The Mysterios got the win. The Miz and Logan Paul tried to jump the Mysterios. Mysterios got the upper hand. Almost hit Logan Paul with a 619. He got Miz dragged him up out of there. So, you know, they love giving you the visual before the pay-per-view. We then had an Edge promo next, and this was fucking McMarvelous. I know the very first time.
Good thing that happened on this show.
Yeah, I know when he first came out, I said I didn't understand the lighting, but now that I've seen it, especially with the new theme song, the entire presentation is perfect. This promo was perfect. This was S tier. He talked about how the old him is like the new him is more darker. The old him is what allowed him to get injured by Randy Orton, how he lost his chances at the Universal Championship, basically turned on the fans and said that we can no longer give judgment and he will be the one handing out verdicts. I thought the wording of this promo, the presentation, like I said, S tier.
Chef Kish.
Definitely. We had a Bianca Belair backstage interview next. She talked about whipping Becky Lynch with her hair. It then led into the rematch that I swear I've seen 7 times.
It's the
Bianca
rematch
Belair.
we didn't need.
That too. Bianca Belair versus Doudrop. Bianca Belair got the win. Doudrop hasn't won one match against Bianca.
She's not gonna win any match. She's not gonna get any push until they change her name, because I am not taking a women's champion named Doudrop seriously. I don't care if you're on Raw or SmackDown. I am not taking that shit serious. So she is not gonna get serious. We're not gonna get serious with that shit until she changes her name. She's not gonna receive no type of push until WWE comes to the realization they fucked up. Let's go back to Piper.
I don't think that's gonna happen. RK Bro Championship celebration next. They were talking about how stadium popcorn is Riddle's favorite. It was then interrupted by the Street Profits, who have a more serious tone. They seem to be acting a little heelish, but I'm not ready to call them heels yet.
They gonna turn heel to go either tomorrow, go home show, or at Mania. At Mania, they probably, if they don't acknowledge them as all the way heels, they will be heel. They will wrestle heel at Mania and just go on for there, just like this. Bobby Lashley, like right now, they back like a couple years, not even back in the day, a couple years ago, when you had a heel turn or a face turn, basically it was known. Bobby Lashley face turn was that he finally got the match with Bobby Lashley, my guy. But Bobby Lashley face turn is that he finally got the match with Brock Lesnar. When he finally got that match, he turned face. It wasn't really nothing done to it to make him turn. He didn't save nobody. He didn't do nothing else. He just came out, got the match with Brock that he's been asking for, and now he's face. Now I'll be cheering for him. You just turn face and just turn like the Edge and AJ Styles shit. Okay, we get that. Edge was a face then. He was looking for a WrestleMania match. He kicked AJ in the ball. So now we feel bad for AJ because it's the good guy did something bad. Like something like that. That turns into a face turn and a heel turn. You feel me? But, what? Like the Street Profits, they basically healed. They ain't turn what they turn heel for? We don't know. It's just one day they just came out being more serious. That's just how it is now. I guess just one day you just show up and you just like, you know what, I'm a heel today. And that's just how it is. It don't be turning nothing. A heel turn face, Rey Mysterio in the ring getting beat up and the Miz come out and see him and save him. Now Miz face. We see it. Versus nowadays, something just happened. The Miz come out, cut a promo. Now he's just a face. Just because he cut a promo, was like, hey, we in Pittsburgh, yay. And then now he's face. That's just how it is. I'm fucking confused. Make WWE great again. What the fuck is this shit?
Don't be confused. It's perfect because they're listening to the guy who knows. I asked you a long time ago, could you ever see the Street Profits heel? Nah, I could never do that. So now guess what? They're going to turn him heel, and then they might go with your idea and bring in Booker T as the manager. But you got to get that heel turn in order for that to happen. Because to me, heel Booker T is the best Booker T.
So if they do that, do they still come out with the same music?
Nope. Yeah. They can still come out to that, yeah.
How would they do it?
Yeah. Nothing, it'd be the same.
So do they come out? You know how they used to come out dancing and shit? So they just come out, just walk to the ring?
No, they still dance. It's just it works better now because they're heels. Now they're just arrogant and cocky about it.
That's
Get
if
on
they
there.
go that route.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. Montez Ford's got a cup. He's about to give it to some little kid in there. No, and then drink it and then throw it all the way back towards the entrance ramp.
I could see that though. But that's if they go the route of them being cocky and shit. But knowing WWE, they just had them come out with the same music, just walk straight to the ring with a straight face. And that music don't fit that gimmick if they do that.
You never know. I would hope they would go with the arrogant Angelo Dawkins. Not Angelo Dawkins. Montez Ford. I mean, just turn him up. Just his mannerism is already on 100. Turn it up to 1,000. As a heel, he'll be hated.
Yeah.
I would say, and with this heel gimmick, if you need a challenger for a face champion at some C-level pay-per-view, there you go. Montez Ford just luck into the opportunity.
I feel like if they turn the Street Profits heel, it's the end of the Street Profits. Because if they turn them heel, they're going to push Montez forward. They might do a thing like the Hardys. They put, when they turn heel, they go ahead and push Montez forward. They break up and they reunite like a couple months later or a year later down the line after that singles push is done, and they go back to attack. How they used to do with the Hardys. Like every now and then, the Hardys will be together for a couple years, and then they'll get either drafted to different brands, do their single stuff, and then they reunite for a couple more years. It might be like that.
Maybe. You never know.
You know what WWE needs, I feel like, will save WWE?
What's that?
A stable.
They don't do
Not
stables.
a stable that lasts a year. A stable that lasts years. Like how DX was. It was just two. It was just Shawn and Triple H. Then they came out and they had Rick Rude. They had China. They had X-Pac. They added the New Age Outlaws. Shit like that. Evolution. Legacy. We need stables. That makes it better.
I'll agree with that, and then I'm gonna move on. But I do want to say I do agree with that because you always have friends in AEW.
Yeah. So I guess
You always
everybody
have
just associates with each other. Like you can't have more than one friend in WWE.
Right.
My one friend that I'm cool with will be my tag partner. I'm cool with you too, but I can't talk to you until I'm done with her, type shit, or I'm done with him. Like, what about like stables? Like Naomi and Sasha teaming back up. So let's say they reform Team Bad, but call it something different with the original two members, and they call up two NXT stars to be with them. Or since Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins lining up with each other, they say fuck it. You know, just created a back group. Like the way that they was about to do Seth Rollins when he was the Monday Night Messiah, and he had the AOP, and then he had Austin Theory and Buddy Murphy with him. That was gonna be a fucking phenomenal stable. But it didn't happen. Just imagine them running through Raw. The Hurt Business, that was a stable, but they only had it. I feel like this Hurt Business didn't even last a year. I feel like they didn't even have a dominant year run. That was on TV, yes, but I mean, it's like when Bobby got his push to be WWE champion, they said fuck Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. Y'all just about to do this bullshit. You feel me? It's like we aligned Bobby up with y'all so we could get what we wanted, which was pushing Bobby to the top. Now that he's there, he the champion. We don't need y'all no more, so y'all about to do this bullshit. It's like stables don't get the same treatment as they did just a decade ago. And a decade ago, that put us around the 2010s. Just stables back then, you had Nexus, you had the Core, you had CM Punk, Straight Edge Society, the Wyatt family, the Shield. stables. Shit that mattered. And not just in a stable with one person get a push. Y'all all look strong. Y'all all get pushes. If I hold the main title, y'all two is the tag team titles champions. The only stable right now that's it's like only one stable can work at a time right now. That's what it seems like. The only stable that's running shit right now is the Bloodline. But it's not really even a stable. It's just now on TV they really acknowledging that Roman Reigns and the Usos are cousins. But before then, they was still running shit without it. So that's the only difference, that they acknowledge them. They finally on the same show. They putting them up together. That's it. But other than that, like it's like now stables only work if it's only one. It's going to be one stable per turn. Once the Bloodline break up, I guarantee they're gonna push another stable. I'm just saying, we ain't got no stables. Just imagine what the Forgotten Sons could have been before Jackson Riker said that shit. Just saying. Imagine how Sanity would have been. Now we got Nikki Ash. Just saying. I mean, shit. You look on the other company, they stabled up. I like that. I like that you got your. It's like everybody got their clicks and stuff. You got your backstage click. Like I'm pretty sure WWE's is the same way. You got your click. I'm pretty sure Roman hang around a certain circle. So why not book that circle to be on the same show and acknowledge that shit on TV? It's called the Bloodline, so why not have him add more people that he feel like his family to the Bloodline that he's cool with, shit like that. That would be dope as fuck. All I'm saying. Why not have La Familia, the Mysterios, line themselves up? I mean, shit, y'all let go Lucha House Party. Y'all could have fucking paired Lucha House Party up with Rey and Dominic Mysterio, make Rey the leader, and just have him go to town with that shit. Y'all ain't even gotta call it the LWO. You can call it La Familia or some shit like that. But just have him go ham. Have him lead the future Lucha Libres of WWE. Come on. But instead, they focusing on just having him train his son, which is a good thing. But still, you could be building up more Lucha Libres. Why not have the future Lince Dorado, Grand Metalik, and Kalisto when they was with WWE? Why not have them learn from one of the persons who's considered to be the greatest Lucha Libre ever? Why not? Why not have a Latino Lucha Libre group focus around Rey Mysterio? Why not? Rey Mysterio never worked heel, but I would love to see that shit. That'd be a change. That'd be dope as fuck to see a heel Rey Mysterio with his own stable. I think he did work heel before, like in WCW, but WWE, I don't think he was ever heel. But he didn't even gotta be heel. They the shit. That's just it. That's their gimmick. They the shit. And you can't tell them they king of the ropes. That whole group, king of the ropes. Like everybody will have to adjust their game to theirs because they play with the ropes a lot. They why not make it? Everybody knows American wrestling is different from Japanese wrestling. It's different from Mexico wrestling. American wrestling is more on the slower side. Mexican wrestling is fast paced and most of the actions happen in the air. So why not have that group with Rey Mysterio wrestle Mexican style? Wrestle at a faster pace. Wrestle in the air. a lot of arsenal moves, springboard moves, dives, all that shit. That'd be dope. That'd be dope. That'd be dope.
You got it all out?
Yeah.
We ain't even made it through Monday Night Raw yet.
That just shows you how horrible Raw was this week. It was fucking ass.
Well, let's hurry up and get through it because there's a segment that I want to spend some considerable amount of time on AEW.
All right.
We had Montez Ford versus Riddle. Riddle got the win. We then had in the main event Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. Kevin Owens got the win. I thought it was a really good match, but they always put on great matches. It's Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. Raw 4.
3.
Breezing through NXT 2.0, Santos Escobar beat Cameron Grimes. Tiffany Stratton beat Saray. A-Kid beat Kushida. Indy Hartwell beat Persia Parada. Dominic Mysterio beat Joaquin Mendoza. And Dolph Ziggler beat LA Knight for the NXT Championship. We are getting Dolph Ziggler versus Braun Breaker for the NXT Championship at Stand and Deliver. And we are also getting Pete Dunne. Tommaso Ciampa versus Tony D'Angelo at Stand and Deliver. It's going to be Tommaso Ciampa's farewell NXT match. See him winning or losing it?
He's going to win it.
You
said Tommaso Ciampa?
Tommaso Ciampa versus Tony D'Angelo.
Tommaso Ciampa losing. They're gonna call him up and change his name.
To what?
Some bullshit that we don't even think. We ain't even think that Pete Dunne's name was gonna be Butch. There's gonna be some bullshit. There's gonna be something that don't even resemble Tommaso Ciampa. They're gonna make him shave his beard. All that shit. Watch.
All right. NXT 2.0 gets a 5. It was a decent show.
Yeah, I'll meet you with that.
AEW Dynamite started off with a 6-man tag match. Jurassic Express, Hangman Adam Page versus Adam Cole and Red Dragon. Adam Cole and Red Dragon got the win. I thought this was a fantastic opener. I really love when AEW starts off with a hot match to start off Dynamite.
Yes. AEW, I'll tell you, and week after week, I found myself loving AEW more and more and more. That's why I asked the question, am I an AEW mark? I don't know. I say no for right now.
I say, yeah, you spent majority of Monday Night Raw destroying the product and saying what it could be doing better.
Nah, I don't think they're destroying. They're just giving it good criticism as a fan. Because even we receive that on the channel. You know, there's been our subscribers will comment and let us know shit that we could change. And we take it into consideration, we apply it, we see the benefits of it, so we took it on the chin and then we roll with it. I think WWE could do the same, you know. I mean, like at the end of the day, we all decide not to support WWE. We all decide not to watch their product, not to buy their games and merchandise and shit. They will go downhill. We are the consumers. They need us at the end of the day. So if we're not happy with it, why not voice our opinions and let them know? That way they could possibly change. You know, like they said, the last third hour of Raw was gonna be a darker one. They said it wasn't gonna be no more automatically rematches and shit like that. They said they was gonna give women's champions, women's more push and all that shit. It was cool with it because they did it for like 2 weeks, or they did it for like a month. And we was like, all right, we stopped talking about it. Then when they started giving us that bullshit again, we got quiet, and then it was like we don't say nothing about that shit no more. But we got to keep up with that shit. You feel me? So they giving us some bullshit. We gotta let them know, and let them know week after week, like we ain't supporting this shit. It's some bull. Better your product. Y'all can do it. Ain't like y'all can't. I don't know if y'all got TV writers in that bitch or not, but y'all need to get people who know more about professional wrestling. So I
Gotcha.
get soap opera shit.
Gotcha. Moving on, we had a Keith Lee, Ricky Starks, Powerhouse Hobbs backstage segment. Next, Ricky Starks reminding Keith Lee that Rampage is Ricky Starks' country, and technically it is because he's on commentary. You hear him every fucking Friday. And Keith Lee, before that, Powerhouse Hobbs told Keith Lee that he knows how the Spine Buster feels. Then Keith Lee followed it up by saying, "Yeah, but let's talk about Ricky Starks and how you laid there on the mat like a bitch after I punched you." And I laughed because Keith Lee is naturally funny, but we never got to see this side in WWE. I don't think Keith Lee cut one promo in WWE on the main roster, did he?
I don't think so.
I have to go back and look.
I don't recall.
Promo.
No one knew. I mean, shit. On the main roster, he was only there for. I mean, he was there for some time, but the time that we could actually see him, I'd say about 4 months before, they took him off TV. He was off TV for a while. Then they put him back on. Then they took him back off. Put him back on. Took him back off. Then released him. But I would say he had about 4 or 5 months of TV time that I don't remember like that. The only thing that if I could say, if you ask me, what about Keith Lee WWE run do you remember? I would say NXT. We all remember his NXT run. I would say when he came at the Royal Rumble, he had his face off with Brock Lesnar. That was good. And then the Bearcat gimmick. That's it. That just summed it up.
That's not a lot.
His whole run in WWE. A talented person, though. That's what I'm saying. Like the shit that they be putting on. What the fuck is this?
We then had Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley versus Chuck Taylor and Wheeler Yuta. This match was fucking fantastic. Really put over Wheeler Yuta. Didn't know I needed William Regal on commentary, but give me more. He's fucking hilarious.
Quick tags. Didn't know that quick tags would be entertaining. But it was. I didn't know that. But, hey, Moxley, Danielson, they make a great team. I didn't know that they would actually work out as a team. I never knew that I wanted to see these two team up. Even when they was in WWE, I never thought, I want to see Daniel Bryan and Dean Ambrose team up with each other. I never thought about that shit. Even when they went to AEW, I never thought that I want to see Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson together as a team. Then when they start teasing it and stuff like that, now I'm getting more intrigued to it. And now that they finally pulled the switch on it, now I'm like, this is fucking McMarvelous. That's crazy. The best thing that happened in wrestling is I'll take that back. I was gonna say the best things happen in wrestling is shit that you didn't know you needed.
That is true most of the time.
It is true, but then shit that I didn't know I needed is everything on Monday Night Raw. So then that's why I said I take it back.
I mean, what made this even better was the post-match angle where Wheeler Yuta went back in the ring. It kind of seemed like he was leaving the best friends and he wants to join the dojo. And William Regal smacked the fuck out of him. And I'm like, you done got the slap of approval. Now I'm interested to see what's gonna happen with you and best friends. How you gonna play that off?
Oh, everybody! So to get into the group, you either gotta get your ass beat by Jon Moxley or Bryan Danielson, or you gotta get smacked by William Regal. Which one would you take?
I take William Regal.
Like a hard slap, open fist, 5 fingers to the face.
Yeah, I'll take that from William. First off,
I was like, to be honest, if you do a match with either Jon Moxley or Bryan Danielson, you might not even win. And see, I think that's the harder way to get in there, because you have to put on a good ass match to earn their respect for them to be like, you know what, the door's open. You changed my mind, type shit. So, or you got what we've been looking for. So you would really have to show up and show out. Versus, I'm just gonna get smacked. Not being there. I don't know. And both of them kind of hard.
Listen, Brian Danielson does joint manipulation, and John Moxley will beat your motherfucking ass. I'm cool on both. Just William just smacked the shit out of me. I'm cool. We'll worry about proving in-ring later.
Yeah, that's funny.
We then had an FTR and Young Bucks backstage segment next. Salamander the Bucks said that it doesn't matter even if they bring in the best there ever was. They will still be AEW's second best tag team. Is FTR about to bring in Bret the Hitman Hart to be their new manager?
I heard about that too. I heard about that. I think so.
I don't know how to feel about that. A babyface FTR?
I heard about that. A babyface FTR don't need. I don't know. Do we need that?
That is a good question. We didn't think we needed Danielson and Moxley either.
Yeah, that is true. I think
it seems like the stuff that you think like, oh, that'll never work, it ends up being fucking Marvelous. I mean, Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho seems like it was just thrown. They threw CM Punk and Eddie Kingston together on a random rampage off a Eddie Kingston interrupting CM Punk's interview. Eddie Kingston and CM Punk just literally was just thrown together on a random rampage. It seems like the stuff that we really just are questioning, AEW turns it into gold.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that, especially with a later segment that we're going to discuss. Moving on, we had the Acclaimed, Keith Lee, Team Taz, Shane Strickland segment next. The Acclaimed's Max Caster was talking about his Rampage main event with Keith Lee. When Team Taz walked in and said, there are going to be a lot of people trying to take our spots. Then Shane Strickland walked in and said, he basically said, whose house? Swerve's house. And he's here to take their spots. And then he walked off, and the Acclaimed's Max Caster said, yo, isn't he a rapper? I thought the whole thing was kind of mushed together and they tried to make it funny, but it wasn't funny. It kind of was a miss.
Yeah.
Like, I see what they were doing, but it didn't work. It kind of missed.
All right. Yeah, he got bars though.
He do got bars. Salamander, moving on to the best thing on the fucking show to me. We had the Jericho Appreciation Society commencement. Jericho comes out with his new group. They come out to Judas. I'm thinking, okay. In the back of my mind, I was thinking, I gotta hear Matt Lee talk. And he was the first person to talk. And everything about this promo was S tier. Everybody played their role magnificent. So Matt Lee starts off basically saying, you guys love Judas, don't you? Goes on to say, if it was me, you guys wouldn't have Judas. You guys have Chris Jericho to thank. Jeff Parker then says, you guys should be thanking Chris Jericho for not only what he's done in the wrestling business, but in the actual real life, real world. So then I'm thinking, okay, it's starting off good. And then Chris Jericho goes on to say, you know, the earth has been around over 4 billion years, yet you were lucky enough to be here in the Chris Jericho era. And I thought to myself, that's a real WWE line to just throw a random fact out there. And then he kept going, and he keeps going, and he talks about how he can no longer relate to the rest of the AEW roster because he's not a professional wrestler, Salamander. He's a sports entertainer. Mind you, I am dying. I am rolling on the floor laughing my fucking ass off. The AEW people boo. He says, I'll say it again, I'm a sports entertainer. Gets to going on. So Daniel Garcia takes the mic. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, this is where Daniel Garcia leaves. He's like, fuck y'all, I'm gonna go join the dojo. Look straight down the camera lens. I'm a sports entertainer too. Salamander, I died. I'm still laughing. Tears are coming down my face. I'm laughing this fucking hard. Then follows it up by two of the greatest names I've ever heard. He says 2.0, we're not calling on that anymore. We use our real names. Speaking of which, that's a bad name from Bad Creative. I'm still laughing. He then says this is Daddy Magic, Matt Menard, and Cool Hand Angelo Parker. He then says he puts over how he helped Daniel Garcia and how he helped 2.0. His former best friend Kevin gave him a call, said get 2.0 on the podcast. Now they got a job. He talks about Hager being his confidant, how he saved him. And then he follows it up by saying we are the Jericho Appreciation Society and we beat up professional wrestlers. 15 minutes of masterclass shit. And you know what I was thinking? In WWE, we would talk shit about this promo. We would say this is probably one of the worst promos we've ever heard.
Right.
But in AEW, this is one of the best fucking promos I've ever heard. What did you think about it? I'm sorry I took up so much. I just had to touch on everything. What were you thinking when you heard it? What were you thinking after you heard it?
I liked it. Like I said before on previous podcasts, Chris Jericho promos never disappoint. Chris Jericho working AEW, I don't think he ever did a shitty match, shitty segment, anything like that. Chris Jericho Chris Jericho retired. He should get inducted by every promotion he stepped foot in into their Hall of Fame. Chris Jericho should be the first person AEW induct to their Hall of Fame.
I say Brody Lee.
You think?
I would say Brody. I would say Brody just because of how everything was.
That will probably be their first class. Chris Jericho, Brody Lee, and everybody. That'll probably be their first class for sure. But yeah. Chris Jericho need to be that first, like in that first class. Because, I don't think AEW would be the same without Chris Jericho.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I think they would have failed. I think the fact that they had Chris Jericho, which is a household name, people know, that's what helped them, got them that far.
I can agree with that. Definitely.
Heck man, number 10 though. It did what it did what it needed to do. Shit.
Cool Hand and Angelo Parker. Madcap Moss. It just had WWE written all over this promo. Mm-hmm. And now this is the era of sports entertainment. I keep saying that every week. Tony Khan said he had new storylines. He did not lie. He has not told one lie. I don't think I've seen a bad storyline from everything he's introduced.
Never. Ever since he took over. That's what I'm saying. That's if that's the reason why Cody Rhodes left, go ahead and go if you think grass is greener on the other side. What I say so far, I think he made the right call. Tony Khan taking over. I think Tony Khan made the right call doing that. But what I have seen.
Definitely. Serena Deeb, Hikaru Shida promo package next. We're going to get the payoff to this feud finally. They haven't put on a bad match yet, so I'm very intrigued to know where we're going to see this match. TNT Championship is on the line. Wardlow versus Scorpio Sky. Scorpio Sky got the win. The match I wasn't too impressed with. It was more of an angle, but we all knew how it was going to play out.
Yes, we did. And it played out exactly how I thought. I knew it exactly once when he won. Like I've been saying, it depends on where they put the match at. So since that Face of the Revolution match went on before the CM Punk match, I knew Wardlow was gonna win. If it went on after the CM Punk match, then I think Keith Lee was gonna win. But since it went on before Wardlow won, then I knew when he went on to win when the Scorpio Sky won the TNT Championship, I'm like, is that just basically confirmed without saying MJF is going to screw over Wardlow. That's basically what they did without saying it.
That is true. But post-match, MJF and Sean Spears started to beat down Wardlow. He started to fight back. That's when the American Top Team came in, beat him down. He got MJF and almost had him for the powerbomb, and the crowd went nuts. And then American Top Team and MJF, Sean Spears got the advantage again. I thought he was about to take an unprotected chair shot to the head. I was about to say, War Dog, you're the man if you do that, but he got his hands up. I like the overall angle more than the match, but the match was still all right. You needed to do something pretty big for Wardlow to lose. Like, it couldn't just be any type of normal interference.
Yep, and they did something big was something that they did too.
Right.
Hey, one question.
Yes.
When we jump into the next segment, what city was they in?
San Antonio, Texas.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that was in Brooklyn because of Private Party picture of them wearing the Brooklyn Nets jerseys. I thought that was in Brooklyn.
Oh, no, they were in San Antonio. Jay Cargill, Mark Sterling backstage segment next. They're looking for number 30. You know, Jay Cargill's been beefing with Athena on social media. What if Tony Khan already has her in his back pocket?
Probably. Oh, we don't know. Maybe. Do you think? Let me ask you one question. Do you think Nia Jax is done with professional wrestling?
I would say yes, unless she really had the itch. But the only place that I would see taking her outside of the Indies just off name value would be Impact. But do you really want her in Impact?
You don't think AEW will make the jump to come get her?
No, I don't think so.
And book her how they should have booked Awesome Kong?
I don't think so.
I don't know. It was worth a shot.
Speaking of Private Party, they were up next. Hardys versus Private Party. This match was Marvelous. All it was the Hardys playing their best hits.
The Hardys debut.
That is true. They just did their best hits, and it was fucking Marvelous.
I like how AEW do certain shit. Like when Matt Hardy first came to AEW, he was kind of like stood like the broken Matt, right? And then his gimmick changed a little bit, and then we got him aligned with Andrade, which certain points you kind of seen the extreme Matt Hardy came back, or at least version 2.0 Matt Hardy came back at certain points. And then his brother came back. Now he just back to too extreme the Hardys. I like how they just did that without how he just bounced back and forth without being too much explained. Like, now we know, all right, the Hardys is here, my brother's here. Y'all want to see the Hardys back one last time? Fuck it, like, let's do this shit. It's funny when you realize it. Like, all right, last week you got your ass beat, your brother's dancing. It's just like 2 weeks ago, you was just this guy, now you back to version 2.0.
Nah, I'm with it. He said he wanted to stop being a carny, so he stepped out of the suit.
Yeah. Go back to his roots.
There you go. We had Red Velvet promo package next, hyping up her match against Layla Hirsch on Rampage. We then had the main event. Women's Championship on the line. The AEW Women's World Championship is on the line. The Doctor, Britt Baker, DMD, defending against Thunder Rosa in a steel cage. Thunder Rosa is your new AEW Women's World Champion. Match was fucking Marvelous. It wasn't as good as their Lights Out match. I still thought it was good. We had a couple thumbtack spots. The Britt Baker Britt Baker fell into a platform of chairs and just slid the fuck off.
We got to see blood. Yes.
There was blood.
If we are going to get modern women's wrestling and not divas wrestling, I want my women to go all out how the men do. The man bleeds, my women should be able to bleed when they feel like it's necessary. If the man can go through a table, a woman can go through the table if you feel like it's necessary. I'm all for equal rights when it comes to women's wrestling. I want to see a woman go off the top of a cage. It could have been like a spot where they climb at the top and then Thunder Rosa push her off or some shit and she fall back into the ring. Or they set up tables and she fall back into the ring onto the tables and shit.
I mean, she did that with the chairs.
Yeah. But I was like, that was a good spot though. Like, I want to see shit like that. Like, that's how I feel like whatever the men can do, I feel like the women can do it too. If y'all have a steel cage match with some men and the man is pulling out the tables, they throwing tables on top of tables and chairs and all this stuff, I want the women match to be the same. Don't have a women match just be a cage match, but it's like a regular one-on-one normal match aside. Like, go all out too. You feel me? Like, cool. It's like, what's the point of this? So I like that. And I like the design of their cage.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, I like that.
Being able to go outside.
Yeah, I would say you got climate space. It's not like how WWE is, like, you got the noticeable big ass holes into the cage, so you know which ones to put your feet and your hands through. Like, I kind of like this. You climb up on the sides.
Yeah, I like it too. When you think about it like that. But the ring was noticeably smaller.
It was, but maybe that's a good thing to keep the action going. You know,
that too.
Cage, make the ring smaller. That way, you really ain't got nowhere to go.
I like that. AEW Dynamite. I'm giving it a 9. Fucking Mac Marvelous.
I'm gonna give it an 8.
An 8.
Yeah, I'm stuck with an 8. Hey, but I can't say, all honestly, AEW broke the record here on the channel because they haven't went past 3 weeks where they was like the main focus, the talk of the week. This is the 4th week consistent that they basically stole the damn week. So congratulations to AEW, y'all stole the damn show.
Listen, it was the Jericho Appreciation Society that just pushed it to like a 9 to me.
It was that along with the main event. You know, it was that, the main event, the hype with the Hardys. Then on top of that, the Warlow and MJF shit. Like, cause they telling the stories and they continuing the stories, long-term story booking. If you want to be very technical, they've been telling this story with Warlow and MJF ever since Warlow first hit his very first powerbomb. If you want to be technical, long-term story booking. That's what Silent Matter loves.
Never lied. Friday Night SmackDown.
And the only good thing that came out of this show was the fucking opening segment. Yeah.
We got the Bloodline opening segment where we were supposed to get a Champions Collision little segment. Paul Heyman, Roman Reigns was out there basically saying, "Acknowledge me." Paul Heyman then showed Roman Reigns a message saying that Brock Lesnar was experiencing travel issues. He was 4 hours away. Roman Reigns gets to talking some more. He tells the wise man not to interrupt him. He then finds out that Brock Lesnar did not have travel issues and that he was on the way. Roman Reigns and the Bloodline leave and they get into a car, but here's Brock Lesnar in some mechanical contraption. A forklift. Forklifts through the windows. The Bloodline escapes to some other car. This is why I hate WWE. People get on AEW's camera work. WWE's camera work is just as bad. You
Yeah,
see when
that
he
shit
went
was
in.
horrible.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about when he commandeered the second truck. Why is there just a second truck there automatically?
No, like not even that. Just the fact that he did what he did to the car. He tipped it over. They got out, got into the second car. This whole time the car was behind him. He's sitting there celebrating the car being tipped over, and then turned around and they stood in the damn car. Like we seen the one camera view where it looked like y'all ran on the other side of the arena to the car, and then y'all got in and y'all was just sitting there for a minute, basically sitting there waiting for this shit to happen. And then on the other camera view, we see Brock Lesnar get out the forklift. He's sitting there looking at the truck. And then he turned around, noticed that they're trying to get out of there, so he ran to the truck. The truck that was literally like 10 steps away from him. And it was stupid. You could kind of tell that, I don't know why the fuck they had this shit, the truck sitting there so damn close to where it already happened at. And then on top of that, I don't know why they was in the car for a good 2 minutes but didn't pull off. The segment was good, but I say I don't like the way the camera work. Yeah, I agree with you with the camera work. The camera work could have been more better to manipulate how close the car was to it and shit like that. They basically exposed it once they showed the face up on Brock and you seen the car and the truck in the back. You like, ain't they in there? Why the fuck they sitting there?
I agree. Next up, we had Rick Boogs Rick Boogs and Shinsuke Nakamura versus Los Lotharios. Rick Boogs and Shinsuke Nakamura got the win. I still don't understand why they're pushing Rick Boogs. I don't see anything impressive with him. I am not impressed, not in the slightest. Nothing.
I ain't got nothing to say. I said it not yesterday, but Friday when we was watching SmackDown. I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing. Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo, they are a good, young, and up-and-coming team. But they keep losing. In order for y'all to get over other tag teams, do they have to be at the expense of them? Can y'all put them in a different spot where they are being built up to be the next tag team? But then at the same time, cannot complain because they are on TV week after week. So I don't know. I don't know if it's good or bad. I really don't know. That's really hard right there.
I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it alone. Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss backstage promo. Madcap Moss told a joke. He said, "What do you call an episode of Happy Time that puts everyone to sleep? Nappy time." And then everyone looked at him, and it just, looking at it now, at everything that you said with Monday Night Raw, they just telegraph breakups.
Told you, man. It don't make sense. It really don't.
Like, you didn't have to have him tell that joke. That seems like a joke that you tell the night of the betrayal. But you just give it away right now. Then it led into Viking Raiders and Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin, Shanky, Jinder Mahal, the match that we were supposed to get last week, but didn't. The Viking Raiders and Drew McIntyre got the win. Are you any more excited to see Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin after seeing this 6-man tag?
No. To be honest, we could have. Even though I kind of said I think Drew McIntyre Happy Corbin might be the steal of the show, just depending on where, if it's on night 1, night 2. After seeing this, cause it's like I don't know, I don't want to see it no more. I mean, we kind of got. I mean, we still didn't get the confrontation before it because he didn't hit the Claymore on him. He hit on Shanky, and basically, you know, he was on ringside watching his other 2 tag partners get demolished by Drew McIntyre. So it kind of that, I don't know. I'm confused. Like I said, I went from 75-25, now I'm back to 50-50. they do this Cody Rhodes shit right, I might be back at 75 or I might go to 80. I don't know.
We had a Sami Zayn backstage promo next where he challenged Johnny Knoxville to an anything goes, no holds barred. Are you interested in that?
No. Because, alright. We know Johnny Knoxville, if he wins because he's a celebrity. But they put in this max type on there so that way if Sammy lose, it could be, oh, well, he lost because Johnny Knoxville had help for the other Jackass members, or he lost because of the max stipulation. If it was a regular one-on-one match, Sami Zayn would have won, or whatever. But it's just, this match is just so Johnny Knoxville could take bumps because he do jackass shit, so he do the stunts and all that shit anyway. So what other way for him to take get thrown through a table or do some type of stunt than in WWE? So make it anything goes, which is basically a no hold. I hate that they have different names for basic ass shit. Like, hey, it's anything goes now, but 2 months later, 2 weeks later, y'all say no holds barred. Like, what's the difference? What's the difference between a no holds barred, anything goes, or a false count anywhere? What's the difference? One difference that false count anywhere, you can pin them anywhere, but you can still use weapons. No holds barred and a no DQ and a anything goes match is literally the same max type, just a different name.
I mean, I'm with you. You see, I was just sitting here just trying to remember, like, anything goes or no holds barred, but in my mind, I'm thinking it's the same fucking thing.
It is. Literally.
Moving on.
Like, how many steps is on the ladder? Let's say they use a ladder that got 11 steps. And they be like, I'll challenge you in an 11-step match. First one to the top to grab the belt wins. Like, a ladder match, it's the same shit. I hate that they use different names for match types that y'all said literally on TV 2 weeks ago. Literally.
Next up, we had Sasha Banks and Naomi versus Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan. This one about 15 minutes and ended in a disqualification. Shayna Baszler and Natalya came down and caused the DQ.
Making it a fatal four-way.
They give you great matches and they give you fuck finishes and wonder why the fan base is upset.
I was gonna say that match was great until that point. I mean, y'all could y'all do it any other way of having them make that point into the reason why they should be inserted into the match? Couldn't y'all have them attack the winners after the match, and then that same shit that happened, it just happened after the match, had them run in and then attack them and then basically beat all teams and have Natalya and Shayna Baszler being the last team standing, even demolishing the champions, and then that way they grabbed your attention, and then Sonya Deville could have did the same shit that she did and be like, you know what, y'all basically made your way, made it known that y'all earned your way there. I took out the champions and y'all took out the two number one and number two contenders, so y'all earn your way there. It's a fatal four-way. They could have did that way, but instead, like you said, they give us a good match to start off, but with a fuck finish, and then looking at us like, why y'all complaining?
Nah, definitely couldn't have said it better myself. Johnny Knoxville agreed to Sami Zayn's request. Pat McAfee was then summoned to Vince McMahon's office. Sonya Deville, Natalya, Shayna Baszler backstage segment, as Salamander already touched on it. Sonya Deville turned this into a fatal four-way match for the women's tag team championships. We then had Pat McAfee and Austin Theory, where Pat McAfee had to apologize to Austin Theory, but basically said, I apologize that you're a bitch.
Yes, I would say that the opening segment, this segment, and the ending segment made the show.
I can agree with that.
Because this was like, now I'm looking more forward to that Pat McAfee match. I wasn't looking forward to it at first. Now I'm looking forward to it. Now I'm like, you know what? I want to go ahead and see this too. Because is it just me? Did you by far have the chance to see the picture that Austin Theory took when he was in the ring? Did you get on his social media to look at it?
No.
Well, if you look at that picture, is it just me? Or did Pat McAfee look like a young Stone Cold? When he was called the Ringmaster, he looked like a young Stone Cold. I swear on everything. Even when he said, "Give me a hell yeah," he sounded just like his ass too. That's crazy. If you have a chance, go pull up that picture and pull up a Stone Cold picture when he was the Ringmaster, and you'll be like, "Hell, he kind of do look like his ass."
I'm gonna have to do that. Kofi Kingston versus Ridge Holland. This match was god fucking awful. Kofi Kingston looks so lonely. Ridge Holland still got the win. I don't know why we're still pushing this man. He might have ended Big E's career.
The match was actually good to me. But I think the thing that made this match is the fact that the outside some shenanigans with Butch. I'm not calling him Butch. The shit that happened with Pete Dunne. The outside shenanigans that happened with that, I think made this match. But at the same time, Ridge Holland, I even said this to you. To me, it looked like, I don't know, maybe it looked like he's trying to wrestle a different style that's not meant for him. Like, I think they're trying to make him a powerhouse. I don't think he should be a powerhouse. I don't think that wrestling style fixed him because, to me, he's slow to be a powerhouse. For two, it's like, you know, the way he just execute moves and stuff and maneuvers, I'm like, I don't like it. I feel like it don't fit. It don't fit. Maybe he should switch it and be more of a striker or a technician or some shit, submission specialist or whatever. But this powerhouse shit, I don't think working. I mean, damn, this powerhouse shit, he already hurt Big E, and he hurt it Johnny Gargano before. So I'm like, goddamn, something need to change. Maybe this powerhouse shit ain't working for him. It's maybe not for him to be a powerhouse. You might need to go in a different direction, buddy.
I think he should be more of a brawler. He should be a JBL. Sit him down there, let him train with JBL.
Yeah, striker.
Yeah, sit him down with and let JBL get a hold of him. JBL could come back. That could be his mouthpiece. Cause I mean, as much as I like sinning with Sheamus, I think we need to get Ridge Holland off of TV.
Yeah.
Everything is just too fresh. I think he needs to be off of TV.
He need to go back. Since he got called up, I won't say send him back to NXT. I will say put him back in a performance center before he seriously hurt somebody, like something that y'all can't come back from. That Big E shit could have took a turn for the worse. It still maybe still do, maybe not, but like he could have had surgery. He could have been paralyzed or whatever. So what we got so far is good news. But send him back down to get more proper training. Maybe have work some type of angle. He get taken off TV due to like some type of on-screen injury or whatever. To keep him on TV for some time. That way, when you re-debut him or return him, he got a whole new look, gimmick, all that shit, and he wrestled different. Do something now before something bad happens. Like I said on the podcast when we had B-Rags on there, he is becoming the male version of Nia Jax. He's being unsafe in the ring. The way he wrestles is unsafe. I'm not sure if it's really the way he need to wrestle or is the way that WWE is telling him they want him to wrestle and he's just not used to wrestling like that. He's trying to adjust to it. But either way it goes, something needs to happen.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Something definitely needs to happen. Main event segment, Charlotte and Ronda Rousey promo segment, which then led to Ronda Rousey getting her ass beat. The powerbomb through the table was nice.
It was. I like the whole segment thing. Like basically, it's gonna be the whole story of this match The whole story of this feud is the fact that, yes, if we have a one-on-one normal match, yes, you could come up with the win, only because of the stipulation of the match. Because in WWE, we all know you don't have to beat your opponent could be beating your ass, and you could just get lucky for 3 seconds. All you need is 3 seconds. So it's gonna be a submission match, but I like the fact that both ladies have submission finishers, and Charlotte, throughout Charlotte's career, no matter who she faced, she made her opponents tap the mat 3 times. Right? It's like the story they're telling is the only person that she can't make tap out is Ronda Rousey. And at Mania, she's not gonna make her tap out. And then that's the story that you're telling with these two. It's the same. One thing I don't like about the feud is that we kind of getting the same shit. Like the brawl shit that we had got backstage, all that stuff like that. I ain't like that. Cause it's like we got that in 2019. I like it better if they would have just acknowledged that, you know. Like I said, last week when SmackDown went off and Ronda was just looking angry after Charlotte did what she did, I would have liked it better if she was smiling. It would have been like, even though shit saying it hurt, but smiling, be like, I stood in tap. Or some shit like that. And even this week, she did all that. Put it through the table through the frustration because she didn't get her to tap, even with the kendo stick. She threw it through the table through frustration. And then we get the zoom up on Ronda or whatever. And we just seeing that the enjoyment out of that, like, you're not making me tap. That's the story. That should be the story to build between the two. That's how they should have been building it. Is that no matter what Charlotte do, she can't make Ronda tap. That way, when you get to Mania, the whole story of that match is, can Charlotte make Ronda tap?
I'm still confused because Charlotte put her hands on numerous WWE officials. Yes, she didn't get suspended. So the next time they run an angle where somebody gets suspended for putting their hands on a WWE official, I'm gonna say, nah, that ain't right, because Charlotte put her hands on like 10 of them.
It's wishy-washy, just like this time last year when they was building for WrestleMania, when she did that shit and got suspended. That's what it was. That was the story. They're just wishy-washy. WWE is not consistent. That's what it is. They show you something on TV one week, the next week they forget about it. That's it. Like how you say what AEW they be saying, they watch the product. You can tell by the way WWE book shit, they don't watch their own product, because they bring something up and then drop it the next minute and then just expect for us to forget about it. You bring something on TV, you drop it, you gotta do something to close that storyline. That's why I bring myself to ask the question to this day. Who threw the pie at Kevin Owens? Who raised the briefcase to Stone Cold? Who was really Raw GM when they had a laptop? It wasn't really Hornswoggle. I don't believe it was Hornswoggle. I just think they just did that shit just to whatever. But I don't think that was actually the end of the story.
Alright. Let's hurry up and wrap this up. We're at Rampage. SmackDown gets a 6.
I'm gonna say a 7. Like I said, the opening segment, the Pat McAfee shit, and then the Charlotte shit that made the show.
Alright. Breezing through AEW Rampage so we can get to the news. Darby Allin beat The Butcher. Red Velvet beat Layla Hirsch. House of Black beat Bear Country. House of Black beat Bear Country and Fuego del Sol. And Keith Lee beat Max Caster. And it gets a 6. It's Rampage. Rampage is the hour flies by. So I give it a 6.
Yeah, it was cool. I'm just glad Jay not on that. She getting time on Dynamite where she belongs.
There you go.
But let's cue that news. The first story of the day, WWE, they made late changes to Friday Night SmackDown. This goes back to what I was saying when we was opening, that some weeks you can literally tell when they are currently coming up with the shit that's coming on TV, or they redid it an hour before it aired. But this format of this week episode of Monday Night Raw originally looked different for the company that ended up presenting with the changes that they had made. Now, Fightful Selects reported that the original plan was to be called for Ridge Holland to do a promo, but he was just Big E suffering a broken neck. The injury had happened last week on SmackDown where Holland was performing a German suplex. Holland will not end up cutting the promo, but we already know he wrestled Kofi Kingston. Now, some other changes that was made was Drew McIntyre. He teamed up the Viking Raiders against Happy Corbin, Jinder Mahal, and Shanky. It was supposed to be said that Shanky was the last addition to the match, replacing Madcap Moss. Reason for these two changes was not given. You have anything to say about this story?
What were the changes again? Give me all of them.
Ridge Holland was originally supposed to cut a promo. Even for Monday Night Raw, it was changed, but it didn't go into detail what changes that was made. But Ridge Holland, he was supposed to cut a promo talking about what happened last week with Big E. They decided to book the match between him and Kofi. And then it was supposed to be the 6-man tag match. Supposed to be Drew McIntyre, the Viking Raiders versus Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss, and Jinder Mahal. But instead, they replaced Madcap Moss with Shanky.
Now that you've said that, since he said the joke, don't you think it would have been better to put Madcap Moss in the match and then Happy Corbin and the rest of them just leave them for dead?
I think they made that change because they don't want to tell the separate shit now. That's probably why, because they probably originally had that shit planned, but it was like, nah, it's too early right now. Let's go ahead, pull it, make it this way, make the joke, boom. That way we pull the betrayal on Mania.
I guess I don't know.
Because if they did do that, why would Madcap Moss next week be with Baron Corbin, Happy Corbin anymore? Left me in the ring, literally left me in the ring. Why would I hang out with you anymore?
Well, I mean, you can have Drew McIntyre egging it up. Well, I guess you're right, because then you're forced to do the Madcap Moss versus Happy Corbin match a week before Mania. Yeah, and that's really what you want to do for like WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah, because you want to tell the story that they breaking up. Because right now we basically seeing that Madcap Moss know that Happy Corbin is out of his league. Last couple of weeks, when Happy Corbin was supposed to face Drew McIntyre, but instead he gave his position to Madcap Moss so he could go out there face, which is where we had got that horrible, nasty landing on his neck and all that shit. So it was Madcap Moss opened his eyes and realizing basically this ain't the person I need to be with. And you tell that story now, it's basically gonna fuck up for the story that you're trying to tell Mania. Because if you do it now and have the betrayal now, what's the point of having Drew McIntyre and Happy Corbin face off? The whole point is because the shit that's been going on with him, Happy Corbin, and Madcap Moss. Because it's like, if you don't go ahead and have Madcap Moss do it, Drew McIntyre be like, alright, I ain't got no beef with you no more, so what's the point of this match? You on the same side as me type shit. Alright, but moving on to the next story, we got Bianca Belair. She is apparently injured and will be out of action for an unspecified amount of time. WWE announced today that Bianca Belair, she is currently injured. Now, according to a story on WWE.com, she suffered a fractured high bone in her throat as a result from an attack from Becky Lynch on Monday Night Raw. Last Monday Night Raw, Becky Lynch, she had wrapped the chair around Bianca's head and her neck, shoving her into the ring post. This quote-unquote injury news appears to be a continuation to their storyline a week prior. Now, I think this is just to pushing their storyline. I don't think she's really injured.
No, I don't think she's really injured either, and it just shows you how lazy WWE's booking is because they don't have shit else for 2 weeks.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
They don't have shit else for 2 weeks. So hey, why not just do an angle where we just write Bianca off TV for 2 weeks and she shows up at WrestleMania to accept her challenge?
Right. Moving on to the next story, Stone Cold Steve Austin, his segment with Kevin Owens is scheduled to close out WrestleMania Night 1. So now, this is basically the matches that's announced for WrestleMania so far. It's when the winners take all. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair, Queen Zelina, and Carmella versus Sasha Banks, Naomi, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, and Shayna Baszler and Natalya. RK Bro versus a to-be dated opponent, which is probably will be the Street Profits 9 times out of 10. The Usos versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs, Rey Dominic Mysterio versus The Miz and Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin, Anything Goes match, Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn, Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory, Edge versus AJ Styles, and the Kevin Owens show is supposed to close off the show. So that's the whole match card for night 1 and night 2. Night 1, we already know, after the main event of Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch go off. Ain't that the main event in night 1?
No. First off, that's not even. I mean, is that really a main event? The main event is Charlotte and Ronda.
Okay, so after Charlotte and Ronda go off, we should be expecting the Kevin Owens show to close off the show for night 1.
How much of a?
I'm thinking it's going to lead into a conversation. Somebody gonna say some shit. I think Kevin Owens gonna be the first one to say some shit. Ain't nobody gonna be able to get no words after that. They're gonna get face to face. Stone Cold gonna hit a stunner. That's up with their match for WrestleMania Backlash. Night 2, he basically gonna be talking shit. Kevin Owens gonna be talking shit, but he ain't even gonna be there and shit like that. Stone Cold ain't gonna be there. That's what I think. But I really think this shit should have ended night 2, not night 1. If you're gonna do it, you should put this on night 2. That way you can push, because you can push towards WrestleMania Backlash. You have it on night 1. There's still night 2 there. So what the fuck is y'all gonna do for night 2? I mean, especially if y'all both still there.
I mean, my issue is this: how much of a spit in the face is this to your women's division? I'm Ronda Rousey. I came back. I won the Royal Rumble. I'm supposed to get the main event match at WrestleMania. Per the rules of the Royal Rumble, if I win the Royal Rumble, I get the main event title match at WrestleMania, right?
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me I won the Royal Rumble and you're going to end WrestleMania with KO and Stone Cold Steve Austin?
I mean, to be honest, you said the main event match. If it's the last match, it is the main event match.
Not WrestleMania night 1 off how?
If it goes off with one
last
match being Ronda and Charlotte, that is the main event. Not main segment.
No, you didn't hear my question. I said, how did WrestleMania night 1 go off last year?
It went off with Bianca Belair celebrating.
So why can't it be going off the air with Ronda Rousey celebrating?
Because we have a legend coming back. That's for all WC.
So taking away one moment, you're taking away Shayna. You're taking away Ronda's moment that originally she took away from somebody else. It's just one big fucking circle.
Yeah. What is WWE? Shit don't make sense.
I ain't never lied. Shit don't be making sense, because that don't be making sense. If I win the Royal Rumble, then damn it, I should be in the fucking main event. There shouldn't be a main event angle taking place after my main event. I am the main event. I won the Royal Rumble.
Right. WWE is planning to change another title at WrestleMania. WWE is slated to have another title match that has already been announced for WrestleMania 38. This past Monday Night Raw, we had the Raw Tag Team Champions, RK Bro, accept the Street Profit Challenge for WrestleMania. Now, according to the Wrestler Observer Radio, Alpha Academy will be added to this bout that will make it a triple threat. Now, another change that WWE had made, of course, we already said it, was the Women's Tag Team Championship match. Instead of it being a triple threat tag, it's a fatal 4-way tag. And then also, the Universal Championship match, Roman Reigns versus WWE Champion Brock Lesnar, will headline the second night of WrestleMania. WWE has yet to confirm the headliner for the first match. Although it is believed to be the SmackDown Championship match, Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey, they still haven't made it official yet. So, I think that kind of answers your question.
What, that's gonna not be the main? That's not gonna be the main event. It's gonna be co-main eventing with an angle.
Yeah, basically, they didn't say what's gonna headline night one. It could be anything at this point. They ain't really confirmed it yet, but I think that kind of confirmed your question that it's not gonna be the main thing. Night one is gonna end with something else.
I would just hope that they will honor what they've been doing for 30 years.
Yeah.
They've been doing the Royal Rumble for 3 decades, right?
Yes.
And this would be probably the first or second time the Royal Rumble winner has not main evented a night one.
Nah, this ain't the first time. This happened plenty of times. Even when WrestleMania was still one night, it's been plenty of times that the Royal Rumble winner didn't main event because Brock and Roman main evented. Remember Shinsuke Nakamura WWE Championship match? He won the Royal Rumble. He was supposed to main event. He didn't.
He surely did not, and he turned heel.
Yeah, so there's been a couple times where the Royal Rumble winner didn't main event at WrestleMania. If it's a bigger match than that, they're not main event.
Well, then that's stupid. Then they need to change the wording and say you get a guaranteed title match.
They do. Because on that one where they announced that Royal Rumble, they didn't say how they usually do. Like the 30 minutes, the only way to be eliminated is to be thrown over the top rope with both feet hitting the floor, and the winner will go on to have a title match at WrestleMania. That's how they did it. But some years they would say, main event, WrestleMania. So you can kind of tell if they don't say main event, then you know they got something playing bigger than that match.
I just know if I win the Royal Rumble, I'm supposed to get the main event match.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it always been. I don't know why they go in on their words sometimes. But moving on to our last story, we got The Undertaker. He shared who he thinks should be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Now, to sum up what he said, he basically said that he believes his wife, Michelle McCool, should be a Hall of Famer. Do you agree with this? I do. I surely do. She's been with the company from 2004, and she was a full-time star up until 2011. She's a 2-time women's champion, a 2-time Divas champion. In her recent match was in this year's Royal Rumble, where she looked phenomenal. Even her last appearances of the Women's Royal Rumble, she still looked phenomenal. She still looked like she can go on for a full-time run in the ring and all that, and give these new women a run for their money. I totally 100% agree with Undertaker.
If Taker's giving you the sign of approval, nothing more needs to be said.
Exactly. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you for tuning in for week 11 of the D&B podcast. We got some things dropping. We got episode 50 will be our special episode where we will basically talk about what happened so far in these first 11 weeks of wrestling. Who do we think is in the lead? So forth and so forth. So be on the lookout for that. Also, early this morning, the Eddie Guerrero files dropped with my guy KBTHEMARK on there. So if you haven't checked that out, go ahead and check that shit out now. It's good as fuck. Go ahead, share it, comment, like, all that shit. And shit, find us wherever you get your podcast from. DB Podcast, we're on all platforms. And that's it. Shit, simply some fucking marks.
Hold on, Salamander. Before you get up out of here, I think we need to change that. We're not marks. Here at WBPTV, we simply love sports entertainment. I started with nothing and came out a king. I've been the one that's been balling for rings. It's been me and my team and we chasing the green. My team be the shit, we ain't balling for free. My team be the shit, we ain't balling for free.